Alright guys, I'm away to go pick up a 1986 Honda Cr250. We're about an hour 15 away. Hopefully it's in nice condition when we get there. We will have to see. Got the red light here. But yeah, pretty excited. Have not owned a 1986 Cr250 before, so it should be pretty exciting. It was up for $1,500 and I offered $12,000 for it, which I thought was a pretty decent price. So we're gonna get there, see if we can get down a little bit lower than that. All right, we got the bike in the back. It's pretty clean, pretty nice bike for $1,200. So I didn't want to go down any lower. He gave me a bunch of parts, gaskets, chain, a whole case cover that's worth like $100-something. These cool old school jerseys he gave me, which were pretty cool. And then he offered me a bunch of tires and stuff that I didn't want. And then a bike stand for my truck, which is pretty cool. It's like a rack. So he was just getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And he actually has a KX500 for sale too that he might be selling. So I've got my eye on that. But for this one, we're gonna get home, take a look at it. It's raining right now, so it's pretty crappy out. But once we get a nice day, we'll start digging into this bike and see what she looks like. All right, well here it is, the 1986 Honda Cr250. You can see it's pretty clean for the year. The guy said that when he got the plastics, they were painted blue, so he had to strip off all the yeah, you can see the blue coming through right there. He had to strip down all the plastics, and he said that was a big job. But he'd ice raced this at one point, and he said he crashed it right here. You can see the gouges in the pipe and the plastics right here, which kind of sucks, but you can see they're pretty deep gouges too. But this plate, I believe, is going to be really hard to find. We might be able to find a number plate for it, but that's not a big deal. The seat looks like it was recovered. These are originally blue, and then the fork savers are originally blue. We were looking for those, but the guy couldn't find them in his garage, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. It's got a PSI pipe on it. You can see really, really nice, no dents at all. And then the pipe saver guard that wraps all the way around. That's pretty nice too. That's siliconed on. It's got 4 springs on the pipe. It's crazy. We'll have to test out compression today too, but he said it was rebuilt. You can see the new gaskets for the clutch are in here. They're green. He said he rebuilt the top end and do the bottom end. Looks like the intake manifold doesn't have any rips or anything in it. He said all brand new parts for this thing. It's got a Keyhin carb that looks immaculate on this thing. Everything looks really clean. There was no coolant in it, so I don't know if this thing is going to hold coolant or leak coolant. I asked him if he repaired this, and he said he did. You can see the JB Weld right here on the case. Get a flashlight. You can see the JB Weld right there. I think that's the only place. There's JB Weld. You can see some coolant coming through right there, though. So this thing must have been leaking a little bit of coolant. We'll have to investigate that. Kind of see crusty, dried coolant right there. He said it didn't leak, and he bought a new case off of eBay, and this one didn't leak, so we will see what happens. Maybe it's just a small leak. My other Cr250 from '85 over here has the same it had the same problem. I fixed it, but these all from the '80s all have problems with the magnesium cases like this. These covers right here are made from magnesium, and the coolant just kind of rots them out. So right by the water pump area is really, really bad. There's a guy that sells brand new covers on eBay for like $700, but that's almost the price of what I paid for the bike. So, but they do make them. I'd have to look for a 1986, but I know they make them for the 1985. I almost bought one, but I was able to fix it. So it's got the original gold rims on it, which are pretty sweet. I like the gold rims. I do wish it had the blue seat to make it look like this one over here, because I love the look of that bike, the 85. It's really cool. But all the plastics are here, all in really decent shape except for the one over here. Shroud, both are there. The frame actually is in pretty good shape too. Really no rust on it. Just a little bit of paint missing right there where the boot rubs, but otherwise not bad. The engine is pretty much immaculate for the year. I mean, that's pretty nice. It looks like they took it out and cleaned it all. We'll have to check for an air filter underneath the seat, but I'm guessing there is one. It's missing the chain, you can see. But he gave us one, so we can see if that one fits. It's got the blue shock in there still, original blue shock. What kind of shifter is this? MSR shifter, see right there. We'll have to see if the power valves work on this thing. What else we got? We got some new grips. What kind of grips are on here? But there's that little Honda guard right there. Renthal bars. Cr250 hand guards. If you guys know if that's a good brand, let me know. I'm not really sure. Have never heard of them before. Tires have decent tread. Back tire, good tread back there. What kind of silencers on here? Yeah, it looks like he crashes pretty good. Just looking at the subframe to see if that's bent. It's not bent or broken, it doesn't look like. Yeah, that's good. It looks like he crashed pretty good that one time, it looks like. It's probably his last time riding. Looks like the chain guide is good. Usually those are all torn up. It does have a case saver on it, which is nice. Usually those are missing. Looks like the original reed's in there. Yeah, really not too bad. We'll get the seat off, take a look at the air filter, make sure there's no mice living in it, and then start working on this thing. I want to do a compression test, and I also want to make sure there's some lube down the cylinder before we kick it over. Hasn't been started in over 5 years, like I said, so. Oh, I almost forgot. So he gave me this cool cooler stand with it. He said that's what he used to take to all of his races. So he could take his drinks and then put the little wood on the top so he could use it as a bike stand too. So a little 2-in-1. He gave me this bike rack for the truck. So it's like a three-place bike rack. So what happens is you put the tires in these 3 slots so they don't move. Pretty cool. He said he made that. And then came with a bunch of parts. Came with this, the clutch cover. If you guys know what this is, you guys are going to be pretty jealous. This can be repaired too. Looks like this must have been the old one. But you can see it's a little shredded in there. These things go for big money because these are all damaged usually on eBay. You can see it was repaired with some JB Weld there. But it's nice having an extra one just in case you do have to save it. But it's in okay shape. Here's the chain for it. So we do have a chain. I don't know if that's going to fit, but it's a nice chain. So we've got that. He said here are the pictures of it when he first bought it. There's another one. So it used to have a 69 on it. Looks like he took off the 9. That's funny. It says no fear on the front plate right there. A couple pictures. I believe these are, oh, some graphics for it. These are nice. These are the shroud graphics right here. Just go like that. And a couple on the graphics. I think one's for the swing arm down here, and a couple for up here. But we've got handlebar guard. Honda. Looks like that was the one that was on there. Let's see from the picture if we can see if it was on there. Yep, you can see up there. Got the manual, 86 manual. That's pretty sweet. That's what I really want, that CR500. Look at that thing. Man, that's mint on the front. That would be awesome. But you can see, really nice manual. Oh, what's in here? Alright, we got a manual, that's really nice. Got a new throttle, tube. Got a bunch of gaskets for this thing, top and bottom end gaskets. You can see clutch cover gaskets, a bunch of smaller gaskets for it. I think these are for the forks right there, fork saber guards. Let's see, clutch plates and springs, more graphics. I think these are brake pads. Yep, 86 Cr250 brakes. What else we got in here? Little perch. A couple of these things, the handlebars, for the grips. Bunch of levers in here. This one's brand new, it looks like. Bunch of clutch and brake levers. Shifter lever. Bunch of perches in here. Looks like a water pump seal. So yeah, a couple good things in there. Not too bad. So that all came with the bike, free of charge. But yeah, let's start digging into it, see if we can get this thing fired up. Alright, we're going to start with getting out that spark plug. Putting a little WD-40 down here, just to make sure we don't break a ring or gouge the cylinder. Get that off there. Oh, it's spinning. It's coming. Iridium plug. Good plug. Oh man. Looks like it was running pretty decent. It's not too black. Let's see if she's got some spark here. Guess that's probably a good thing. We could check. Gotta get some WD-40 down there first. Alright, that'll be good. Alright, I'm gonna kick it over. You guys check for spark here. Hopefully we got spark. I can't see it. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got good spark. Kicks over really smoothly too. Alright, good spark. Let's quick do a compression test next. See if we have compression. And then we'll take off the seat, look at the air filter, and go from there. Yeah, man, that's really smooth. It sounds really good. Man, that is really smooth. Bet you this thing's gonna have high compression. Alright, you guys take a look at the gauge. I'll kick it over with the throttle open. See what we get here. Hopefully it's over like 125. Hopefully. That's what we pretty much need it to run. Or over 100. Alright, throttle open. Where are we at? Oh yeah. We're doing good. You guys lost it. About 170. Almost 170. I'd say that's pretty good. Not too shabby. Let's see if there's an air filter. Oh yeah. It's all greased up, oiled up. That looks good. Yeah. That looks really good. Right, well, at least there's an air filter in there. A lot of the times with these older bikes, they take them out for some reason. Probably just to swap them out on the different bikes, but alright, that saves us from buying one of those. Cool. Is there any gas in it? Oh, there's some gas in it. But if it's been sitting for 5 years, ooh, pretty strong smelling gas. Probably should drain that out before we try starting it. Let's check the oil, make sure there's oil in it. Then we'll pour some coolant down it, see if it holds coolant. Alright, check the oil here. I don't think there's a gauge or anything. We'll be able to tell if there was coolant in it. Here. Uh-oh. There's a tad of white on the wire here. That's not good. Oh boy. Look at that. Oil is milky white. You know what that means? There's coolant going into the oil. That's not good. Not good at all. Well, should we try pouring some coolant down here and seeing if it leaks? Guess we could do that. That's what I was worried about. Let's just take a look and see if that leaks out of there. I'm wondering if that's why there wasn't any coolant in it. It was just leaking all out. The only other option I could think of is that he drained the coolant out of it before he stored it, just so that it wouldn't eat that case in there and corrode it like it did before. Otherwise, I think it may have been leaking. Let's see the cap right here. Open that up. Leaks out of here. It's all the way up. It's not leaking yet. Please don't leak, please don't leak. It's like deja vu. Just looking at the ground right now. Looking for any drops. Oh, I think I saw a drop. Or was that from before? Don't see anything yet. Let's see if the under... Nothing's leaking yet. We might get really lucky here. Didn't leak. You can see it's tapped off in there. Get that back on. It might still leak when it's warmed up though, so we'll have to see. So far nothing, just had the overflow. We're getting really lucky here. All right, should we get some gas flowing down it? Maybe it'll start up with this gas in it. We should probably drain it. What do you think? Should we drain it or should we just use the gas that's in it? Let's drain it. We gotta get a new gas line on there anyway. That one's really brittle. We'll drain the gas. I don't think there's a whole lot of gas in there, but better safe than sorry, I guess. I don't want to have to clean out the carburetor too, which we may have to do anyway. Alright, let's see what we got for color in here. Oh, it's clear. Doesn't look too bad. Just draining it out. There's not a whole lot in there. Shouldn't take too long to drain. I'm gonna mix up some 40-to-1. Just a half a gallon we're gonna do. So 1.6 ounces. Let's see. All right, fresh gas in it, 40-to-1. Doesn't look like the carburetor's leaking yet, so we'll keep that gas on and see if the carburetor leaks. Let's get the spark plug in there and then attempt to start this thing. All right, here we go, first start. All right, well that sounds really good. Putting fresh gas in it, started right up. No leaks whatsoever, fingers crossed. That I didn't just jinx myself there, but not one single drop of any fluid came out of that bike after that was running for that long. Probably let it run for probably a good 20 minutes, idling and blipping the throttle, and it sounds great. I did see like a small hairline crack right here, and that's where that exhaust leak was coming from, you can see. So I think that's where it was blowing some smoke through there. We're gonna have to like maybe put a thin strip of JB Weld right there, just so it doesn't leak, because that's a really nice pipe on it. But yeah, other than that, it's great. I guess we'll find out if the oil's turning white after we do the oil change. All right, let's see what this oil looks like here. Oh boy. That's coolant coming out of there. That's not good. That's like straight coolant. Oh boy. That is not good at all. Wow. That's really bad, actually. Is there any oil in it? It's like all coolant. What the heck? Look at that cool color though it's making. Yeah, there's definitely coolant going into the case. That is for sure. And there's barely any oil. There's like no oil in there at all. That's really weird. Just a bunch of coolant. We'll have to check and see if the coolant went down at all. That's like straight coolant. You know, explode on me. It wasn't that hot. See if that went down at all. Is there oil in the coolant now? There's oil in the coolant. What? They like swapped places. I don't know, hard to tell. Didn't go down at all, really. It's gotta be the seal in there. It's broken. Not good. Alright, fresh oil in it. Let's see what happens now. If that oil turns milky white and there's a bunch of coolant, we know that that water pump seal is junk and that we need to investigate further. Alright, we let this run for another 10 minutes, blipping the throttle. Let's see what that oil looks like now. I'm afraid to look. There's not so much coolant in it this time, but it is very, very white. Let's see how thin it is. Feels like oil, but it's mixed with coolant for sure. So I'm thinking that there was probably not a whole lot of oil in it from before, and this time now there's oil in it mixing with the coolant, so now it's not just straight coolant coming out, it's actually oil and coolant, which sucks because the bike runs like perfectly. So it's not a head gasket problem, because if it was a head gasket you'd have inconsistent idle. It wouldn't like rev out completely because there'd be coolant in the cylinder, so the spark wouldn't ignite the fuel properly. So it's got to be the water pump seal. Let that drain out for a bit, but I'm thinking we got to get behind here and see what's going on. Alright, let's see if the coolant went down at all. This will kind of tell us if it's been leaking. Hasn't gone down at all. So I don't know where the coolant's coming from. But yeah, it hasn't really gone down too much. Very interesting. Well, I think next video we're gonna tear into that water pump, see what's going on with that. But I think once we fix that, this bike is gonna be really, really nice. You wanna get some fork savers for it, the really vintage kind. And I'll probably, I don't know if I'm gonna get a new seat cover or not. This one's actually pretty nice. But we'll see. I would like it to be blue. Then we're gonna get some graphics on it. We gotta get the chain on it still. So a couple other things to do, and obviously take it for a ride. But it's raining heavy right now. You can hear it out here. Raining pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see. But yeah, it's definitely coming down. It's rainy season right now. Oh, I almost forgot to show you guys. Cool vintage jersey this guy gave me. Pretty cool. The old Honda. I think they're pretty. The Lucas Oil Honda jersey, pants, the socks, everything. Fully uniform. Thought that was pretty cool. He included that with the purchase. So that was pretty awesome. But anyway, we got this bike running today. Runs pretty good. Stay tuned for next video when we diagnose that water pump and take it for the first ride. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.